let's look, guys, at when would we grab the head. So let's just say get into the triangle trap, doesn't matter how we get into it. I see a lot of this, people grabbing their shin and stuff, foot on the hip and pulling this across. The problem is, from the triangle trap, if I find the shin and try to put my foot on the hip, Car's just posturing straight up there. We end up here. And I've no control of the head. You can start peeling this off and moving that. I think it's a good rule of thumb, the minute you get into the triangle trap, I just find it just the weather of the storm. Let's go through the pros and cons of when we grab the head, advantages and disadvantages. The minute I get into the triangle trap, the number one, we're going to cover this all at a later stage, the number one defense Car will do is posture. And you end up here. So the minute I get into the triangle trap, I just find that head and hold it for a few seconds. Just as Car be trying to posture. So the weakness is in it, he can peel it off with one hand and then, but it's only buying me time. The other weakness is, when we go into finishing the front triangle, Danagher likes to get angle. So I'd be keeping this with one hand and under to get an angle. And then I'd be finishing the triangle from there. Hard to get angle if you just hold it on. And I'm not going to stay here indefinitely. The other thing, the second most common defense from the triangle is Car starting to stack me. So as he comes up, yes, relax, up there again. So obviously if you have angle, if I'm here, and Car starts to stack me, he's choking himself. So angle takes care of the stack as well. But let's talk about the advantages of grabbing the head and when would I grab it. Probably if I was finishing with the head, controlling the head with two hands, is because I haven't eliminated the shoulder. We talked about how I want to be turning the corner, and when I lock the triangle, there's no shoulder inside. But sometimes you're up against people and you just cannot get the angle, if that makes sense. So I will lock the triangle, but if you've noticed, Car's shoulder's inside it, if that makes sense. Now you need to really pay attention to taking the time and locking the triangle. I see a lot of people, they're locking triangles like this. If you're putting your instep behind the back of your knee, you're probably going to hurt yourself. And the degree of the success and failure of a triangle is really based upon how I can get that foot L shape at the back of the knee. Not even there, even L shape there, it's going to be small degrees of whether you're going to finish or not. So you really want to focus on trying to get the triangle locked at the back of the knee, if that makes sense. So we are in this position here. Not there, definitely not there. Obviously you're up against people of different sizes, so sometimes that will dictate whether you're going to finish with a triangle, but we will be going through alternative finishes. Sometimes short legs, sometimes the person you're up against has very broad shoulders, so maybe the front triangle is not on. But let's look about finishing from that two hands on the head, and I haven't got angle. So again, I've locked the triangle, I'm here, but I'm still in front of Car. That's the way Car's shoulders inside. So rather than grabbing his head and then just basically pulling down, it's just uncomfortable, you're not going to tackle. We want to tilt Car's head. It's called parking it. Notice the way Car's chin is facing my belly. I'm going to just start turning his head so his right ear is in my belly. Now I'm not pulling down on his head, that's not the only pressure I'm doing. I'm actually lifting my hips as well. Notice the way Car's chin has turned into my hamstring. And now when I lift my hips, top down. It's only when you feel this on that you realise this is very, very strong. So from our position, just one arm inside and we're into the triangle trap. If from here I control the start of the pattern from the triangle trap, so I get two hands here, and again we'll be looking at getting into Danagher's whole system of getting an angle and finishing from there. But if I'm up against someone and I physically just cannot get angle, okay, I will lock the triangle. Okay. Detail on keeping my foot L shape and I want to be at the back of the knee. Even something as like that is going to really make your triangle a lot harder to finish. So I have the triangle locked, but his shoulder's inside it. So rather than just pulling down on the head and trying to finish from there, the detail is I turn his head. Notice the way Kjart's chin is facing into the back of my hamstring. Now I'm still pulling on his head, but the detail is to finish, I just lift my ass up and that. There it is. There's a lot to show. So, just from the triangle trap position, I would recommend the minute you get here, rather than trying to grab this, Kjart's already posturing and end up in here, just find the head first of all. And again, first thing is get angle. But if I can't get angle, okay, and I'm not going to stay around here too much, I will lock the triangle with it behind the back of my knee, not there. And to finish from there, because his shoulder's inside, just turn his head. So his right ear's in your belly. I still control the head, but I'm not really yanking down. What finishes this